All right, so news here. Kendrick Lamar has been announced as the solo act. They're the first hip hop solo act for Super Bowl 59, and it's causing a little bit of stir right now. So they announced this. He announced it on his YouTube channel actually as well, Kendrick Lamar, that he's going to be the solo act there. And some people are also thinking that maybe he'll bring out somebody, an artist there as well. You never know; he might actually do that.
Yeah.
But what is your reaction initially to this news, there, Hunter?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Kendrick Lamar is one of the biggest artists on the planet right now. It makes total sense that he would um that he'd be headlining this show. He's had an insane 2024. He's been bitch slapping Drake all of this year. Here's the thing. I know we've talked about it a couple times, but I think the thing that people really underestimate in terms of like why this is so damaging for Drake is that Drake is like ever since Drake kind of started this beef, the music he's been putting out since then has been so bad. Like that song he put out with Sexy Red, really bad song. That Hey There Delilah remix that he did was some bullshit. That song is terrible. Like it feels like he's unraveling through this beef. Like it feels like Kendrick is just in his.
Listen to his 100 gigs? Did you listen to any of that?
I listened to the face song, whatever that shit was called. I listened to that song and like the thing is, man, it really does reek of desperation. It very much reeks of the, like the old musician trick of like, hey, look over here, ball's not over here. Look at like it reeks of that sort of that sort of attempt of manipulation. And and Drake's just coming off real corny right now. The thing about rap, man, and or just really music in general, you might be able to run once from a feud. Like he ran away from that Pusha T beef because Pusha put him 6 feet under with with his tracks. Like Pusha wasn't playing, but then Kendrick, like he kept fucking with Kendrick, and like I said it on here before. Moment he brought up his partner, I was like, all right, Drake just lost, and Kendrick had just been hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting. To a point where Drake just doesn't know what to do and basically had to go had to concede. So,
and and people talked about he did drop another subliminal there. This was a little bit before Kendrick got announced to be the headlining act of the Super Bowl, where he said, he showed a clip of the Georgia Pistons, Rasheed Wallace talking about round 2. And then even kind of seems like Kendrick is mentioning that in his promo here. Let me see if I got it queued up at this part here of his promo here.
You want more? Come on. 2 more.
Yeah.
Just like that.
And real quick, do you think it's a contradiction for Kendrick Lamar for the stuff that he kind of puts in his music to be, one, standing in front of the American flag, and 2, to be headlining the Super Bowl? Do you think it's a little bit contradictory?
So here's the thing. I don't think Kendrick is gonna do the Super Bowl without making a statement and having a plan. Like, Beyonce did the Super Bowl and that shit was black as hell. So no, I'm not. I don't think it's hypocritical. I think Kendrick has a very clear plan of what he wants to do and where he wants to go. So yeah, no, I don't think so. I do think it's funny that Nicki Minaj, another person who's just been fucking unraveling.
Yeah, and this is so she went on a tweet storm here when that kind of got announced. So this is her in a response to somebody saying the first rapper to headline the Super Bowl halftime show needed to be someone who would represent the art to its highest degree. That was not Lil Wayne in 2024. And then she said, God will punish you. Mark my words. That man has not only pushed his pen the hardest, but gave the game more than one hip hop icon as well. On his watch, represent the rap game. The best rapper don't represent the rap game well enough for you, black people. Wow. If this don't hurt your heart to read, it will one day. Look at how our legends keep being treated after they've given so much to us. Who are you? You good? You God? Judgmental swine. Delete. LOL. You will regret tweeting this. Life is funny that way. Don't you dare turn your nose up at Lil Wayne. You dick munching bozo. Hashtag Gad City DC. Tonight, my sneakers are now at Detail R. So grateful. Okay, I don't know why it switched into a
Yeah,
African.
dude.
What
So
the fuck?
so so here's the thing, man. Nicki Minaj does exactly what Drake does. She sneak disses, and you can sneak diss some people, and they might brush that shit aside, but at some point that receipt's gonna come due. And you know, Nicki, Megan the Stallion, you know, dropped that Megan's Law verse, and Nicki just spiraled after that. Like it's really interesting how these people who talk this much shit are that fragile. It's like if you're gonna talk shit, you better be able to go ahead and stand on business and say something back. And Nicki has been real shitty for a minute, and yeah, like look, I respect Lil Wayne as far as being like a businessman. I think the Carter 3, some of his mixtapes, like Wayne has had classics. Like no one's saying that he doesn't, but if you saw him rap, I'm blanking who the wrestler was, to the ring at WrestleMania a couple months ago, that Wayne, as far as a live performer, I don't think he's that dude anymore. So nah, fam, sorry. And
And Birdman also he spoke out about it. Birdman, who's also a fellow Young Money, Cash Money.
oh yeah,
Uh,
the attempted murderer. Yeah, he had
you know,
he had something to say.
and then this is what he put. He said these niggas pussy at Nicki Minaj, at Drake, at Lil Tunchi, Young Money, Cash Money, billionaires. I'm making these niggas respect us on. Glad he's there. So yeah, that's what he also says.
He's not
So
gonna do anything. Like that's like this is all just posturing. Like
and
what do y'all have to say? Like honestly, like
and that's what some of the replies to this tweet here, it says, "The fuck are you gonna do?"
yeah,
Question mark. And they said, "Where was all this energy when Dot was cooking?"
exactly. And so
um,
so I was talking to Nick about that. That's what I find so funny about this. Like Drake is getting dragged by Kendrick on a weekly basis, it seems like. I didn't hear anything from Nicki. I didn't hear anything from Wayne. I didn't hear anything from Birdman. So now you're coming out? Like, where were you when your boy was getting dragged? So let's stop with this, performative, like, oh, we've got your back, Drake. Clearly you don't. So,
yeah,
like,
uh,
and the Super Bowl has been held in New Orleans a couple times.
11
So
times.
yeah. So like, why are we freaking like this just comes across again like people being bitter about Kendrick having a moment. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
could, could he gain some cred, not cred, but like could he get some brownie points for maybe having Wayne come out and doing like, I don't know, like do like a milli or something like that? Maybe.
do
But
they have
then
a
you
song together? I don't think
no,
they
they
don't.
don't.
They don't have a song together,
But
yeah.
then you know what would happen? You'd have people going like, "Oh, so Wayne's not loyal to Drake," and then he has to deal with that shit. So I don't think he can win in this scenario. I think people just want to be pissed for the sake of being pissed off. Like that's how this comes across to me.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, and so people's kind of opposition to this, you see, like, people like Nicki Minaj, Birdman, and kind of makes sense. Okay, they're riding for their guy. Okay, Lil Wayne, he's Young Money, Cash Money there. Okay, that's fine there. But also, just other people seems the opposition is to it. It's like one, it's kind of operating off a basis of this narrative that he was even in the running to be considered to be headlining the Super Bowl. Like he was like it was like a competition, and he was in the running for it. Like just because it's in New Orleans doesn't mean that they're going to pick an artist from New Orleans.
exactly.
The Super Bowl doesn't really do that. They did it 2 years ago when it was in LA and they brought out Dr. Dre, sure, but it's not like they do it based on the region of like they're going to pick an artist from that region. That doesn't really happen a whole
No.
lot. There's that. So and then if it is it just because Kendrick Lamar, he's a rapper, he's the first rapper to solo it. That then they're considering, oh well, it should be Lil Wayne. He should have been the one. If it was like Taylor Swift or
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like 1975 or some shit, they got picked the said line. Would anybody be going like, oh, Lil Wayne should do it instead of that? No, I don't think that narrative would have been a thing. It's just because I guess Kendrick is a rapper and he's
people weren't saying this last year, man. Like
where
no
was
one
it
was,
last year? I forgot. Where was it?
Vegas. Like
Vegas. Okay, yeah.
And Lil Wayne was in Vegas, like doing a fucking Apple Music podcast with fucking Skip Bayless, which is what he's going to be doing apparently in the next couple months. Apparently, him and Skip Bayless are going to be doing a sports podcast together. Like, well, because they're friends. Apparently,
right? I know they're friends. Yeah,
it's one of those weird friendships. You're like, really? All right, but yeah, apparently, they're going to be doing a sports podcast together. Like. Look, Lil Wayne is not that dude anymore. You're not going to get Carter 3, like, a Millie, got money, like that energy of Lil Wayne. He's like, I'm sorry, he's not that dude anymore. I know I brought up already, but that WrestleMania performance where he was rapping this wrestler to the ring, that was only about a minute, and he just fucking stopped. It's
was
like
it Jay Uso? Did he do that with?
Might have been Jay. I can't remember, but I remember I just saw Lil Wayne. I was like, wait, why is Lil Wayne here? I like.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah,
but yeah, like he rapped him to the ring, and dude, it's like he like I don't know if he was high or he just wasn't interested. Bullshit performance like on the Super Bowl stage. No, I want someone who's actually gonna. Okay, Viper, fuck. God damn it. They're louder than you. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Oh, so much your LED lights here.
Yeah, fuck off. God, I know. I was in her stream last night showing her love, and that's how you're gonna. All right, not even a high first. I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna remember that, Viper. But yeah, man. Lil Wayne. We don't need to see Lil Wayne doing this. Like, all due respect, and again, Lil Wayne. He's been great. He's got bangers, but yeah, I don't want to see Lil Wayne live. Like,
and then
yeah,
he did respond to it. He did talk about it. In this clip right here, I'm gonna play this clip right here. You go.
That hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about? It hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown. And for just automatically mentally putting myself in that position like somebody told me that was my position. So I blame myself for that. But I thought that was nothing, I thought that was nothing better than that spot and that stage and that platform in my city. And so it hurt a whole lot.
I mean, he's kind of speaking like he was in the running, or they told him,
yeah,
like an audition, and he just didn't get it, or
yeah, man. Like, I'm just like, so here's the thing, because someone was like, "Oh my God, it should have been Lil Wayne." I would have rather seen Outkast do the Super Bowl halftime show. I'd way rather see Outkast do the halftime show than fucking Lil Wayne. But I don't hear people going like, they didn't give it to Outkast. This is bull. Like, I don't hear any of that shit. So yeah, all you Drake fans who are trying to cope with the fact that he can't out rap a nigga from Compton, which he should be able to do anyway. Get over yourselves. Like, I don't know what to tell you except like, yeah, like Wayne has had some good live performances, but that's not what I associate with Wayne. So
he's got some good, because what you want in the Super Bowl is you want people that's like, okay, it's gonna pump up the crowd, got good hits, got good energy, music. Like, I love The Weeknd as an artist, but I don't think he was a proper.
Oh yeah, but he's not. Yeah, he's not.
Super Bowl.
You would rather see The Weeknd at like a House of Blue, like, which is where I'd rather see Lil Wayne. Like, I'd rather, like, if Lil Wayne got to do kind of like the MTV Unplugged style set, like where you have like the Roots or like a like a really good house band, and you could do your hits that way, like
Tiny Desk type thing.
Yeah, like that, for something like that for Wayne. Yeah, I'd be down to see that. But it's like, I wouldn't want to see fucking Sting in like, like an arena, because like Sting's music is not something that makes me go like, oh man, I want to hear fucking Brand New Day, in the 20,000 seat arena. It's like, no, I want to hear that in a more intimate setting. And
And like I said, they've hosted the Super Bowl many times at New Orleans before. I think this would be the 11th time they've done it. So, like, did
So
Lil Wayne ever come out and say this? And they did it in 2013. They did it then.
yeah,
They did it
and
in '02. They did it, and Lil Wayne was sort of big in '02. Like he was starting his rise ascension in like the early 2000s, late '90s. He was starting his
did
ascension
you say
then.
20? Did you say 2013?
Yeah.
So that would have been the year to do it because Carter 4 was 2011, I think, or
Okay.
Carter 3, I think was 2011. So yeah, that would have been the time to do it, not now. So yeah, people, like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
no one is saying like, God damn it, why isn't Juvenile doing the doing the halftime show?
I think he actually spoke about it too, Juvenile. I think. Let me see. I think he.
Oh God, did he? Jesus.
He actually came out and spoke about it too. But isn't also? I think they were also mentioning because Master P's from New Orleans too, right? Master
Okay,
P.
a Master P halftime show.
Like,
Let's hear ooh wee in front of let's yeah, so Carter 4 was 2011. So yeah, that would have been the time to do it. Like, yeah. So I don't, yeah. Cause fucking hearing 6'7" would have been fucking cool at that like, 2013 halftime show. But yeah, I don't want to hear that shit now in front of in a stadium. But
and then people talk about, what is Kendrick? Does Kendrick have the type of hits to perform the Super Bowl, to do the Super Bowl?
yes.
I think he's got it there.
Several. Yeah.
Let me see. So let me play this. I think this is a clip, Juvenile, him speaking about Lil Wayne performing at the Super Bowl here. So let's play this clip.
Bowl halftime show. So everybody want me to speak on this Super Bowl situation. Look, I'm mad about the situation just like y'all, man. But my hatred is toward the NFL. Not really the people that book the halftime show. I'm mad at the people that hired the motherfuckers that booked the halftime show. I feel like y'all should step in. Y'all done threw 11 Super Bowls in New Orleans, man. Y'all have yet to put a hip hop artist from New Orleans on the damn Super Bowl. Sure, y'all have put artists on the Super Bowl back in the days. Al Hurt and
again, Dre, 2 years ago. People, goddamn, like,
and a lot of the Super Bowls in New Orleans were like in the 80s, the 70s, the 90s. Like a lot of them. The only two I named, the 2013 02. That's from the more modern era of the Super. You know what I mean? Especially the 2013 one.
Well, like Beyonce did it. I know she's not a hip hop artist, but Beyonce did it in recent memory. Like,
she did it in recent. I think that was what, 2015,
maybe?
20 was it 20? Oh, 2015 was that long ago?
I don't know if it was that long. I'll be real, man. Ever since
no, that's the one she did with Coldplay. Hold on, let me see what the other one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Coldplay did do.
Yeah, she did that one.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, let me see. Okay, hers was this one? Yeah, this was 2013.
Usher just did it. Literally, just like we've had Dre, Usher, Rihanna within like the last 6 years. People, like, come on now. Like now, let me be clear. We deserve it because Black artists are amazing. But let's not act like like we're not seeing a change as far as like how they're booking, who they're booking. Just because it's not Wayne doesn't mean that it's bad. And again, you saw that little WrestleMania clip. I don't want 15, 20 minutes of that shit. Like, yeah.
And Juvenile kind of touched on something, which is another point that people bringing up, is the people booking, the halftime show. And a lot of people also blaming Jay-Z. So Jay-Z, I think part of his whole thing with the NFL being a part of it, that was gross. Damn, not that.
It got stuck in my throat. Let me look.
But yeah, he had that kind of going on there about he's part of one of the people in the committee that picks the performers for the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and he started doing that. I think
it's through Live Nation.
Yeah. And I think his first one, as far as being a pick for the halftime show, like one of his part of that committee was J-Lo and Shakira. I think was one of the first ones.
I think so.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, okay, so here's the thing. I think Shakira is actually a really great, is actually a very good performer. I just don't like. I think the J-Lo song pool gets very shallow, like a lot quicker than people want to admit. Two of her best songs have Ja Rule on them, so
Yeah.
which but I thought my my goddamn high girls aside, I actually thought it was at least somewhat entertaining. Like I wasn't having like Maroon 5 vibes like when I was watching the halftime show. So
So yeah, that was in 2020 they did there. So a lot of people saying because Jay-Z kind of got maybe beef with Drake, and then he's doing this to stab at Drake and bringing on Kendrick to do the halftime show there and kind of be doing that.
well,
Um
here's the thing. If that's the case, so what? Like I'm sorry. People are petty as fuck. You think like that's not gonna that may not be play a factor. That totally might play a factor, So but yeah, I people are trying to make something out of this and it's fucking ridiculous.
yeah. So I don't know if that is the case there. I don't know if there is some beef there going on between him and Drake there. But yeah, they kind of mentioned that as the reason. Also, I mean, I don't know, this is not verified or anything. Like, I don't know if anybody's heard this, but I don't know if you know Maul from Rory and the Maul podcast there. Maul spoke about it. He's got somewhat of a little bit of a relationship with Drake, and he's an industry guy to a degree. And he said that Drake has been offered the Super Bowl 4 times before, and that he never did the Super Bowl. So it's not a big hit to Drake for Kendrick to do the Super Bowl. There's not like a big, he doesn't really care, I guess is the thing.
Well, I mean, you would think. I mean, maybe the Superdome. Like, I don't know how close that is to a high school. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why Drake didn't want to do it. But I mean, yeah, like, who cares, people? Like, you're.
I mean, it's not unbelievable that that's possible that Drake got offered the Super Bowl. I mean,
No, it's not.
It's not unbelievable. And as far as like, I mean, they didn't really start doing hip hop R&B acts until Jay-Z started to come on and really like 2020.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because like before
it was
20,
like Michael Jackson, Prince,
a lot of just rock bands.
Like a lot of rock bands. Like like Britney Spears, NSYNC, and Sting at some point were on stage. No doubt. Well, Gwen Stefani was on the fucking like Super Bowl halftime stage. So it's like, yeah, they haven't notoriously featured black artists too often. So
yeah. So it's not, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's not that unbelievable given how big of a star Drake is, that he got offered the Super Bowl there. But like I said, I don't know. I mean, given how little they've had hip hop acts before 2020, I can't think of any, they've had. There's mostly like rock bands, and like you mentioned, pop groups or pop singers there that they've had there. Like they had Missy Elliott, but she was just like a guest performer.
She was the one thing about that Katy Perry performance. That God, man, I was talking to I don't really watch shit too often anymore, but I checked out a little of the VMAs. I checked out some of the live performances, and man, I don't know how there's someone who is so inept when it comes to stage presence, and yet I hear her shit everywhere, like Katy Perry. Because man, like, dude, I watch her perform, and she's nothing, man. It's like it's like when Dee tries to act on It's Always Sunny. Like it's so painful, and she just looks so uninspired and bored. Like I find it fascinating because even listening to her saying like Firework and Teenage Dream, I was like, man, I thought these songs sucked when they came out. and I'm just like, God, and like in 2024, I'm just like, God damn, like these are just, they're worse somehow. Yeah, man, Katie, yeah. I can't believe she got I get why she got the halftime show, but man, she did not deserve it because that oof. Not good, man. Not a good catalog.
Yeah, that was one of the, I think, weakest Super Bowl halftime shows.
Wasn't it her and like Maroon 5 back to back? I feel like they were back to back.
I can't remember.
Let's see. I'm curious. Katy Perry halftime shows.
No, it wasn't. It was Coldplay. It was Bruno Mars before her, and then it was Coldplay after her.
Ooh,
And then after Coldplay, it was Lady Gaga.
that was fun. Yeah, Lady
And then
Gaga was
Justin
fun.
Timberlake was after Lady Gaga.
That is probably one of the more disappointing ones because man,
Given his catalog and given
he fucked, and that was kind of the start of his downfall, and then his whole like Ron Swanson attempt, and that shit swung and missed. Like, yeah, man, that Timberlake halftime show was bad. Remember how bad that suit and tie was, ironically enough, that camo shit he was wearing. Like, yeah, man.
And then Maroon 5 was after Justin Timberlake.
Oh man, that's too rough for years back to me. God damn, Timberlake. Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of got that going on. Let me play some more of that Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl stuff there, but his promo. But yeah, I mean, you kind of have that. I mean, I'm excited for it. I think Kendrick Lamar's going to do a lot.
He'll nail it.
With his show, and like I said, put on a really great theme. With that kind of going on.
How can you do Not Like Us edited? That's the that's the question.
Let me play a little bit more of his.
Plays Not Like Us. That would be the funniest goddamn thing in the world.
Yeah. So you think he will play that song Not Like Us?
I don't. So I heard a rumor that Drake is trying to sue, so he can't do that song. That would not surprise me. To be honest,
be performing at Super Bowl 59. Will you be pulling up? I hope so. You know, it's only one opportunity to win a championship. No round twos. Let's get it.
And people said that was kind of reference to Drake there.
Oh, it was. Oh, Kendrick is smart. He knows what he's doing. Like, yeah, man. Kendrick is gonna. Oh God, Kendrick's gonna put on his shit. What? Because people forgot he did the college football halftime show, and he crushed that. That was a great performance. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what Kendrick's gonna do on the.
So I wonder what his track list will be. I mean, people saying will he or will he not play? I mean, I think it will kind of go crazy if he did Not Like Us with a college band, with the marching band.
Do Meet the Grams. Please do Meet the Grams, Kendrick. Come on. Give the people what they want. That would, oh man, I would cheer. Like, I'm already such a Kendrick fan. If he did Meet the Grams, if he started with Meet the Grams, that would that'd be great. But I mean, you'll probably get DNA. You'll probably get Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. You probably get
You think he's bringing out guests? Who do you think some of the guests are gonna be? Rihanna, maybe.
Rihanna would be fun. Maybe you get Jay. Because there's the Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe remix. Yeah, you could bring out Rihanna for Loyalty. Maybe you get All the Stars, like, because he apparently performed All the Stars like a pretty good amount because he apparently really digs that song. So, I mean, you could get that. Hopefully we get King's Dead. King's Dead would be fun to see live. Yeah, not like I want him to do Not Like Us. Like I want that. I want that violence. I want to see the internet just melt down.
I wonder if he, might bring some of the other TD guys. Might bring in Team, maybe bring in
I think he's gonna put some people, on. I think Kendrick's got some surprises. So I'm excited to see what he's. I will say it's my most anticipated halftime show. It was the Dre one because I remember when they announced that Dre was bringing M and Snoop and Mary. I was like, oh my god! Like I remember that was my. Like I remember watching that announcement and being like, cool. Give me what will probably be my favorite Super Bowl halftime show, and it's still my favorite to this day. I've actually gone back and watched it several times. This could be better. It'll be interesting to see. But
and what do you think about Kendrick Lamar's new song, Watch the Party Die? What do you think about that?
Not a ton to break down. It's very more of a soulful vibe. But what Kendrick is clearly saying is speaking more to the culture of hip hop, as far as having people who are just doing party anthems exclusively and aren't getting to like the meat and potatoes of hip hop and not trying to uplift, not trying to educate. That's how I interpreted the song. But it's way more of a vibe than something than like the last couple, tracks that have just been like, boom, 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 boom. This is more talking about the state of the industry. So I think it's a nice change up because, but yeah, it's definitely more of a chillish vibe as opposed to, the stuff we've kind of been getting.
Yeah. If I had to compare it to some of the previous tracks that he had, because people immediately thought, again, it was another like, okay, battle stations. Everybody get to their battle station. Everybody react. Kendrick Lamar's got a new song out. Like, oh shit. But
Yeah, and it's not that. Yeah,
it's not a diss towards Drake. I mean, there's some of it that could also apply to Drake as well, but also it seems like a more industry diss.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than just a Drake diss again. Some of the lyrics he's kind of talking about here. As far as a lot of the vibe and tone of the song, it's more like something closer to Meet the Grams or maybe a little bit more like Euphoria, kind of like a little bit more.
It's
jazzy.
more. Yeah, it's more.
616 in LA.
Yeah, it's more Section 80. Honestly, it's more that sort of vibe. Which, to be fair, I think that's what threw me in a good way about not like us, because you hear that I see dead people and you're like, oh shit, it's gonna go dark, and then you're like, oh shit, it's a DJ Mustard beat. So it's kind of like it's like the 180 of that. But I like the song a lot. Like I've gone back and listened to it a couple times, and I really do vibe with it. It is just very different from Not Like Us, but I do think that what this proves, especially doing the halftime show.
Oh, I forgot. Right before I said this, talking about Lil Wayne, said this motherfucker barely can form a coherent sentence and hates dark skinned women. Next, I forgot.
Also that, yeah. But I think that new album, I could see it dropping on Super Bowl Sunday too. I'm gonna call that right now. I think that's gonna be the.
Yeah. So you'll think he'll do it before and not after? You think he'll do it like?
I could see one of those things. You remember when they did that? Netflix did that with that Cloverfield movie that they didn't say it was a Cloverfield movie.
Was that the 10 Cloverfield?
The Paradox, yeah, Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh, Cloverfield Paradox. Okay.
Which is shit, by the way. But I think they're gonna do that. I think it'll be like, thanks for watching the Apple Music halftime show. Stream Kendrick Lamar's new album. Blah blah blah.
Oh,
I think they're gonna do it just like that.
Okay.
So heard it here first, people.
Yeah, maybe they'll do something like that. I don't know. I think maybe because maybe he'll do it. And he released "Watch the Party Die" like when the VMAs, the exact time when the VMAs started.
Yeah, on 9/11.
On 9/11. There.
Yeah.
Which is the thing. And then so it seems like in this song, like I guess he really genuinely hates the niggas that he worked with in the music industry. Like. He goes like,
why are you surprised? Like he said this on Control. Like he's been telling y'all, like, I have love for y'all, but I'm gonna murder you. Like he said that himself. So everyone being surprised, it's like, no, he's been telling you this shit for years. You just didn't want to listen.
And he says so right here. I got the lyric right here. We mentions Nipsey Hussle here, fellow Compton guy as well. He says, can't blame them today. They ain't got really got much to work with. How many bitches harder than a lot of you niggas would trade all of you for Nip? I can't be proud of you niggas. There's, he says in this bar here. Yeah, I mean, he just has genuine disgust for his fellow peers, as you see in this track there.
Dude, I get that. There are so many podcasters I can't stand. World-class bullshitters looking at you. Grace Randolph looking at you. Yeah, dude. There are several, like, there's so many shitty rappers out there. Like, I don't blame Kendrick at all. Like,
yeah. I mean,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he brings to the table. But I think he's got something for us. So
we'll see. Super Bowl coming out February. We'll be there watching.
Black History Month too. I'm sure that shit will be black as hell too.
We'll see. With Kendrick Lamar performing at Super Bowl 59 there, and the next Super Bowl I think is back in LA. I think the Super Bowl 60.
Yeah,
back in LA. They haven't done it. I'm surprised they haven't done one overseas yet. They haven't done one overseas.
I think logistically with like the start times and all that, I think that's
Mm.
just a headache the NFL doesn't want to deal
Mm.
with yet. I think what'll happen, I think you're going to see a overseas team first before you see an overseas Super Bowl.
Mm.
Because I think they want to put like a team in like Brazil or UK or some shit like that. And
Okay.
yeah, so I think you'll see the NFL do that first, and then I think you'll see a Super Bowl follow pretty soon after.
All right. So that was Kendrick Lamar, new track, Super Bowl.